You want me to time you?
I'm already timing on the.
Okay.
Remember back in the 90s growing up when you used to stay outside all day, playing outside with the neighborhood kids and friends, never wanting to come back inside. Man, those were the good old days. Nowadays you see people just sitting on their computer monitors watching every move their friend makes on their social media websites such as Facebook and Twitter, even MySpace. Today I want to talk to you about how the uses of the internet for social networking is a disadvantage and how it has been decreasing humans' daily interactions with others, pulling them away from the reality and more towards the cyber world. Although I admit I use some social networks myself, I am here to tell you about some reasons I did from websites that is talking about social networking and the dangers you put yourself in when you release your pictures, blogs, and personal information on social media, and how you should watch what you put on social networks. The main points I want to address today will discuss the problems with social networks and why it is doing more harm to yourself rather than good, and how social networks tend to invade individuals' personal lives. I also will be talking about the solution I am proposing to fix this, which is limiting the time an individual can spend on social media sites. And lastly, I will discuss the advantages that can come from not using social networks. What will you expect to gain from my solution is spending more time with your families and friends most closest to you. Even though social networks allows people to get in contact with others as far as long-lost friends, extended family, and people you have not seen in years, it does have its disadvantages. If you're not careful with social network, it opens many doors that can potentially put yourself in danger. By providing personal information that allows hackers to steal your identity, with stealing one's identity can lead to access in social security numbers, debit cards, credit cards, and increase your chances of becoming a victim to online scams, which overall is invading one's privacy. People use social networks to leak out other people's personal information, which creates problems with your colleagues, your friends, your roommates, and some people's marriages. I mean, people use social networks to complain about their parents, their coworkers at their job, and issues at school, which ultimately sometimes leads to cyberbullying. And you think, well, since I have such a strong opinion on this subject matter, what do I plan to do about this situation? Well, it's simple. My proposal is to fix social network dangers is to limit the use of how long people are allowed to be on social networks. I mean, hey, going out from time to time outside is a bonus. Or you could join a local organization in your local area that suits you. Spend more time with your friends and family, take your road trips with your friends. I mean, there's endless opportunities one can experience instead of searching on the web. Other steps to limit your social connection to only people you know. If you are friends with somebody on like Twitter or Facebook and you have not came in contact with them physically, you should probably delete them. I mean, just because you think you know a person so well over some years, maybe you call them your best friend, your lover, but you really haven't met them in person, that's kind of strange. It could be someone trying to physically harm you or possibly steal your identity. Some of you may be sitting there thinking, well, I use social networks all the time. I've been wondering what else I could do with my time instead of just being glued to a monitor. Well, let me tell you this. Social media has made our lives easier in many ways. It has allowed us to connect with people we may not have had a chance to do back in the old times. It allows us to share updates with our friends and family, like with our kids and our grandparents and our parents. However, social networks is very time consuming, taking hours of our days that we don't even realize it. Here's a solution. All you have to do is click the log off button on Twitter or Facebook or even Pinterest. It gives you more time with your family and friends to more face-to-face communication skills, because a lot of people lack communication skills in front of one another. And by doing so, instead of just sitting there reading somebody's status and tweet, it actually gives you time to go up to that person and ask them actually how they're doing. At this time, I would just like to thank you all for being a wonderful audience and letting me express my feeling towards the problems of social networking and proposing my solution to this problem and the advantages that could come from just stop staring at the computer screen and stalking everybody else's movements. So hopefully you will take a step away from the computer and enjoy outside or with friends or family. My challenge is that I just want everybody in this room to try to see how long they can go out with social network, to see what works for you. And now if any of you guys have questions or comments at this time, please feel free to ask me those questions. Thank you.
Did you do the 6 minutes?
I did.